I got absolutely terrible sleep last night. I got probably 4 hours or less. A, because I went to bed late because I thought one of my away rotations was going to open up on vslo, and I didn't know if that was going to happen right at midnight or if that was going to happen at any point today during the day. So I just told myself I would wait until midnight just to maximize my chances, because it is one of my top 5 programs, and it didn't open. And then I had a nightmare. At 4 in the morning I woke up, and it was such a jarring nightmare that I couldn't go back to sleep. So from 4 to 5:50 I just lay in bed. So now I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee, and I am waiting for the guys to finish their rounds, and then I think we're gonna go head to a cafe or something and study. 6 p.m. I just came back from the gym. I had a very productive day today in general. A lot of it thanks to the very nice resident that I had. We covered our consults for both the medical floors today, and we were done pretty fast, and there were no new admissions or anything, and so he was like, we could honestly wait around to see if more consults come in, or you can go study and be productive with your time. And he decided to let me go. And so I did all of my studying in the beginning of the day. And then I got a text saying that I could come to a procurement that's going on. It's going to start at 8 p.m. and I'm very excited because I miss the OR so much. And the last procurement I had, I think, was last year, maybe around like October. So it's been a really long time. It's a surgery for a really good cause, because I don't know any specifics about this surgery, but in general, procurements, the organs get to be donated, multiple lives usually get to be saved, and it's a cool surgery as a medical student because there are multiple surgeries happening in one, and there's a lot to see, and there's the possibility to assist with a couple of different things. I really enjoyed the last time I went, and so I'm really excited that I got invited to go to another one. I also got 5 hours of sleep the last 2 nights, and when I was so productive today, I told myself that I would come home, pop a melatonin, and try to get like 10 hours of sleep, because I'm dying on how little sleep I've been getting. I don't know, I have some weird insomnia. I just can't fall asleep in time. And it's funny that today that I decided that and I got all my work done is the day that I'm gonna go into surgery at 8 p.m. and it's probably gonna go until midnight. But it's worth it, and that's why I'm telling myself to suck it up, chug some coffee, and just power through, because it's definitely worth it. That was such an amazing experience. I'm so glad I went. I don't care how little sleep I get. I don't care how tired I am tonight or tomorrow. This is always just such an incredible learning opportunity. I miss the OR. I just always have so much that I gain from these trips and just any surgery in general. But the surgeon that I'm with here is fantastic. He's so nice. He's so smart. He's so calm. He's such like a grounding presence in the OR, and he let me do a lot of things, and I'm so excited. I love being a third-year medical student, because finally when you're in the OR you get to actually participate, and they invite you to do things and not just, be a fly on the wall and are scared that you're going to touch the wrong thing. It's so fun. I love the OR. I can't wait to make the OR my permanent job. Ended up harvesting both kidneys. Each kidney is going to a different hospital, which is really nice because we're going to be able to help out 2 people. And then I thought there were going to be a lot of teams originally, because that's usually the procurements that I've been at. I've always had a ton of teams, a ton of different teams and commotions, and everyone's doing their thing, and the whole hassle of procurement. It turned out into being just us and the cardiac team, which is amazing because that is the organ that I love. And so the cardiac team was working on their thing, we were working in our cavity, and the cardiac team actually ended up stopping halfway because they found pathology in the heart that wasn't viable for the donor that was going to be receiving it. And so that was really sad, realizing that heart was no longer going to be able to be salvageable. So they stopped that, and we proceeded with the kidneys, and it was very smooth sailing. The anatomy was very clear, which was very nice for me, and he ran me through everything. It's like all the structures. There's so much that I feel like I have to review, but I always feel this way. And the pathology was very interesting because this patient was very sick, had multiple diseases and just things that stacked on top of each other. And so he had very prominent features of these pathologies: a very nodular liver, a really huge spleen, bile leakage. So it was very interesting for me to see. I've never seen such bad pathology. So all to say, this was a fantastic trip. And before I went, my surgeon texted me and said, listen, if it's too late, if you want to pull out at any point, decide you don't want to come anymore, don't come. And I'm so glad I came. Now I have a 40-minute drive home, and it's midnight right now, and I have to be up by 6 tomorrow for psych again. But things like this is gonna motivate me for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be like running on just like the high of being in the OR again, so very happy. Having longer days is nice and all, but waking up to it being dark outside again is not. Hello, it's been a while. It's Wednesday, 1:30. I just came back from work. I am lazy to cook anything, so I just made some ramen with 2 boiled eggs. I'm on voluntary, involuntary psych today, and seriously, this floor has been crazier than what the involuntary floor feels like. There's a lot of schizophrenia, a lot of schizoaffective patients, and just a lot of acting out and even some violence. I've had a pretty rough week, and this week and last week, I think mentally, I've just been feeling very tired, very low, and I think it's a combination of just being on psych is really not meshing well with me. Like, I feel like I almost don't feel like myself during the day. Like, I'm a very routine and structured person, and I think listening to people that don't fully have it together talk about their lives or just have like very, very scattered thoughts and very scattered behaviors, it just makes me it just almost like makes me feel a little bit unsettled. So I'm starting to feel ready to get off psych, and I just have the rest of this week and half of next week, and then I take my psych comat or shelf, and then I'll be done and I'll be moving on to OB, and I feel ready to close this chapter. Also, the second reason that I feel like is connected to feeling out of control and feeling like I don't have a routine or schedule is because all of vslo is happening right now. It's the Visiting Students Learning Opportunity, and it's where third-year medical students apply for auditions at hospitals that they want to do their sub-internships at and selectives at for fourth year. And so I'm currently trying to build out that schedule. And if you're a third year or if you're a fourth year and you've already been through it, you know that this process is not really organized well, because there's vslo and then there's Nexus and there's a whole other platform where you can apply for these auditions. Some programs aren't even on any of the 3, and so you have to personally email them to ask if you can come for an audition. They're usually 4-week periods. At least for surgery, you're encouraged to do a 4-week block, and some of the dates are not aligning. Like, I'll be applying for one program that has the full month of July 1st to July 31st, and then the next program that I'm looking at, hoping to start August 1st, is actually starting a week later, and so I'll have that week gap. And then since there's that week gap, it throws
the rest of the programs down the line off. So then if the third program is on the traditional timeline of starting at the beginning of the month, I can't do that program because my second program will overlap with it. So it's creating all these issues and this disconnect. And the catalog to look at the electives that are available is open for some programs. For others, it's not open, or it's on a different database that they use that I have to find. And the dates are all different. I feel like it's just throwing me, who likes to be in a routine, very off. Like, I feel like I'm having to look at so many different factors and try to piece everything together, and I'm not even certain of the programs that I want to see myself at for fourth year. Like, I think I have a top 5, but every time I learn something new about a program, I change my mind, or I decide maybe a different one's better, then I hear something else and I flip it back. I've only applied for 2 so far, and I haven't heard back on a decision yet, so I don't know what dates I'm gonna get for them, or if I'm even gonna get them, and then if I have to have backups. I feel like this whole process, out of all the things to standardize a little bit, I feel like this would have been it. At least provide consistent dates for when the catalog is open and when you have to submit and when you hear back, but it's different for every program, and I don't understand why we couldn't just make this all one big database and just one streamlined path. That is just the other current stressor. So I think that, mixed with the unpredictability of my psych days, just not in the best mental headspace because of that. I feel like I'm living out my Hermione Granger dreams. Anyway, today is Friday. I am 3 days out from being done with psych. It's the weekend. I'm gonna take my first practice NBME this weekend and see how I do. I took I took 2 practice UWorld exams already, and they were not great, but I just finished all the OB questions, so the only things that I have left to finish on UWorld are the peds section, and peds is my last rotation, and the neurology section, which is only like 200 questions. So I'm hoping for some improvement on this NBME, and I'm going to be taking the NBME tomorrow and then reviewing it tomorrow and Sunday. So it's going to be a full weekend, just as they have been now that we're nearing step 2 and complex 2 exam time. But I'm so excited to be finished with psych and moving on to the next thing, and this weekend is going to be fun. I'm excited to see my progress on the exam, and then next week is going to be match day, so that's another very, very interesting week, and I have a lot of friends, upperclassmen, who are going to be matching, so I'm very excited to see where everybody ends up. So a lot of good things on the horizon. I'm going to spend the rest of the day relaxing, playing some video games, and getting ready for a long day tomorrow.